Gotta do it. Gotta do it.
Hello.
I got you, man. I got you. You, you in the studio, man. How you gonna show up late, though, man? Come on.
You said what?
How you gonna show up late, man?
Man, I'm sorry. Are we live already?
Yeah, we live, man.
Man, I was driving for dollars. Bro,
It's
I
a
can't I
it's a
can't
it's a
stop,
it's
man.
a it's addictive, ain't it?
Man, I've never done drugs, but this is the closest thing to it.
All right, man. Let me do my intro and then we'll give you the floor, man.
Absolutely. Let's do
All
it.
right, okay. All right. What's going on, guys? It's your boy, the real Chevy, once again with another episode of Get Real, which stands for Real Estate as a Lifestyle. Wake up, grind, repeat. We have another episode with a great friend of mine, business partner, the whole nine. Guy been on a freaking major tear lately. He started out talking smack back in January, but it's finally all come together now. We're putting all the pieces together. Alex Inman, Alex, man, I'm gonna give you the floor so you can let the people know who you are, what's your background like, what's our relationship like. Tell the story, man, and then we're gonna break down that $21,000 deal that you just did recently, man. All right.
Awesome. So then first off, I gotta give I would like praise almost. I'm gonna have to take y'all to church today because I was introduced to wholesaling uh, 2 to 3 times before I actually got into it, and the wake up call for me to where it's like, okay, I need to go ahead and take this serious was from Chevy. And I'll just tell you guys a story before I kind of tell you about myself. So I was introduced to wholesaling 2 to 3 times, but sometimes when you hear something, it doesn't really resonate to you. It's kind of like when your parents or a friend tell you something, but then when a stranger tells you something, it's like, oh, okay, I get it now. Well, people have been telling you something all along. So I heard about wholesaling for a whole year, 2019. And it wasn't until I got on Facebook one day and me and Chevy, we know each other because we were in a business that where we did marketing. We marketed AT&T products, and we were in that business for a long time. I actually got a chance to work directly with Chevy when I moved from the South because I'm from Georgia all the way up to Jersey, and I
I
got a
remember
chance to
that.
actually. You forgot about that?
I remember that. I
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah,
Hey,
and
man, you still owe me rent money, man, for my office. You still-
you going? I don't know about that, man. Don't. Hey, we get rent money next week, so we're gonna talk about that later. I can pay you now. Okay.
All right, go
Uh,
ahead, go ahead.
but I got a chance to work with Chevy up in New Jersey, and this was back in 2014. So
Yeah,
we're talking about 6 7 years ago,
yeah.
and from there we worked in that business, and of course I went on and did something else in another state, and he stayed and did his thing, but we always stayed cordial, and through that business we always stayed in contact. I know when I went back south, me and Chevy got to reconnecting again and talking about the business. But man, really, me and Chevy is just two brothers who just want to win, period. And this is kind of why we've always been connected with each other. We're two brothers who just want to win big, not only financially, but for our families. So, long story short, I see Chevy on Facebook, and Facebook is a great tool to connect with people. And I see that he's not in that business anymore. And I wasn't in that business anymore. And I reach out to him and we started talking. And he mentions wholesaling. And I'm like, man, I haven't heard about this all of 2019. I said, well, how are you doing? He said, yeah, man, I've already made like $20,000 this month.
Hey man, don't tell people my business. What? Don't tell people my
Hey,
business.
cut that part out. Cut that part
This
out.
is live. This is
I
live, bro.
bro, look here. We know you ain't broke. You ain't got to flex. You ain't broke, man. Okay. I'm giving people the real.
I got you, bro. Go
I'm
ahead,
telling
go ahead.
people what cultivated me and being able to go out there and wholesale a $21,000 check. I'm telling them how it started.
Got you.
It all started from your story. See, the thing about wholesaling in any business is anybody, all you need to have to do something is a little bit of belief. And that little bit of belief can turn into something bigger than you ever imagined. So I didn't know anything about the business, but it didn't matter. I didn't need to know anything about the business. All I needed to know was somebody I knew was doing it.
That's real.
That's all I needed to know. And guys, from that day, it's funny. Today I was driving for dollars. I was looking at my deal machine app, and I went back to the very first day that I drove for dollars when I started the business. It was January 17th. So January from now, so that's what? That's 9 months.
Yeah.
From the day, I'll never forget that week I talked to Chevy, and the next day I went driving for dollars. I downloaded the app, I went driving for dollars. I didn't even know what I was doing. Bro, it's funny. I was putting houses on my deal machine. I was putting houses in my deal machine that did not qualify to be on my deal machine. I'm talking about new houses. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just putting everybody and their mama in my deal machine because all I knew was at that time, and I just kind of go into a little bit by myself. So I grew up in a little small town called Pike County, Georgia. I'm from Georgia, and of course, went to high school. I did the whole college thing like most people. And I like to tell people it took me 7 years to graduate college. 7 years to graduate college. It's almost 8 years to graduate college. And I transferred to like 3 different schools during that time. And the reason why I tell people that, well, it took me so long to graduate college was because I just knew that having a regular job and just doing the regular thing wasn't for me. So all through college and school, I just didn't really know what I was going to do. So that's why it took me so long. And after I got out of school, like most people, I couldn't find work. I never forget getting on unemployment out of college. And the very first job that I got was through one of my fraternity brothers. It wasn't even because of my degree. So I got 7 years of schooling that didn't mean nothing when I got out of college and got a degree. It's a piece of paper. And I eventually got let go from that position. And then that's when the next position that I found was the sales and marketing company that I met Chevy in. And that's where I spent about 7 to 8 years of all my time. And I tell people, sales is the best college course that I ever took. I went and got an actual degree, but I didn't start college until I got to sales because I learned how to deal with people. Every business on planet Earth, you're going to deal with people, period. So that was the real college. So once I went through that, I transitioned out of that business and I launched an Airbnb business. So it's still kind of in the real estate thing. I never forget, I moved up here to Nashville, Tennessee. And as I moved up here, I moved the entire crew with me. And me being the manager, I was responsible for all the housing. So I was the one spending all the money to make sure my people had a place to stay. So all the money was coming out of my pocket. And because I didn't know anything about Nashville is almost like a New York City almost. It's extremely expensive. And I'm about to go broke because I'm spending all this money. And then I'll never forget, a friend back in Georgia told me about this thing called Airbnb. Oh, what's that? He's like, well, it's kind of like hotels and whatnot. So I never forget downloading the app, and I never forget I was able to move all my people into a house, and I was able to save all this money. And I never forget just kind of analyzing the app and looking at my bill, and I was like, man, this little one bedroom apartment that I'm staying in is holding 8 people. It's holding 8 people, but I'm paying this person $200 to $300 a night. So literally after a week, I paid the person over $1,000. So a light bulb went off. I'm like, hold on, this place, this apartment can't be no more than $1,200, $1,300 a month. And I just gave them $1,000 for the week. That means the other 3 weeks for the month, they're making $1,000 per week straight profit. So I was like, I don't know how this business works, but I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So and that's when I jumped into the Airbnb business. 2019, we were able to do some good things. I was able to pick up a couple of properties. I got a mentor, and I was able to pick up a couple of properties around Nashville, and we were able to do some good things for 2019. We were able to do a couple $100,000 in sales, and things were going really well. But of course, we know in 2020, beginning of 2020, I just believe everybody was excited. Everybody was excited, man. 2020, you hear the 2020 vision, you hear all these things, and then the year just started to, like the thing happened with Kobe. I was like, oh my God. And then it just trickled down for everybody. And for me, the Airbnb business, my business is built off of travelers. So when traveling stopped, my business stopped. My income stopped. So now I got to figure out something to do. And thank God that I reached out to Chevy that January before all this started. And I looked into this wholesaling thing. And that's kind of where it started.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So between January and when did you close that deal out?
I closed that deal out October 1st.
October 1st. So a full 9 months, really. And you just kept going. Most people would have quit, man. Most after like 2 weeks, somebody was like, hey man, I called 2 people, it didn't work. It's not for me, I'm good. What made you keep on going, bro?
What and that's a good question, man. Not only what made me keep on going, what made me keep going in the midst of a pandemic, making no money.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
See, most people got jobs.
Yeah,
when
we
they started
don't.
this. Most people have backup plans when they
We
do
don't.
this. And I praise, and this is a couple things, Chevy. What made me kept going? In that business, that previous business that we're in, one of the biggest things that they taught us was mindset. And they taught us things like how to set goals, how to plan your work and work your plan, how to actually work, how to actually see a future for yourself. And what I was running off of was I was running off of the stories and the things that I saw. Before this pandemic hit, there was a conference that you told me about. I never forget that. I never forget that week that we talked. And I said, you know what, Chevy, my Airbnb business is doing pretty well. But the thing about that business is it doesn't require a lot of time of me. Mm-hmm. Like I have a crew, I have cleaners. I don't have to go to the units. I don't have to talk to the guest a lot. So I got this time. I got time to do something else, meaning that what people got to understand is you have more time than you think you have. A lot of people say, oh, I don't have time. Well, what if you woke up 3 hours earlier every day and you gave yourself 3 extra hours, 5 days a week? That's 15 hours. Do you have time now? See, the thing is, people make time for the things that they want to do. If I called you and say, hey, I got a $50,000 check for you, can you leave work right now to come pick it up? I guarantee you'll make time to come pick it up.
That's true.
You make time for the things that you want to do. So what I did was I said, man, I'm going to carve out some time. Even though I got all this going on, I'm going to carve out some time and I'm going to learn and I'm going to do this wholesaling thing. I went to that meeting called We Live.
We Live 2020?
We Live 2020.
Yeah, We Live 20. Yeah.
We Live 2020. And I never forget when you told me about it. And you told me about it at the very last minute because it was the next week.
Yeah.
So I never forget going online, looking at the tickets and whatnot. They had general admission, sold out. VIP,
Sold
out.
Wow.
Advanced VIP,
Sold out.
Damn. The
Damn.
only tickets they had left was the elite.
Yep.
$2,000 ticket. So now, and people, and this is why I tell people, you got to become an information nutcase, meaning that you got to start putting different information in this brain, because when it comes to business, you don't understand, all business is a series of decisions. That's it. It's a series of decisions and thought process that you make. Now, I'm at this crossroad. I said, okay, here I am wanting to do this business. We got the biggest meeting when it comes to wholesaling. We got the top wholesaling people pretty much in the country that's going to be there. And the only way I can get there is by paying $2,000 to get there. Most people, this is their thought process. Oh, well, I want to learn wholesaling, but $2,000 is a lot of money. I haven't made any money yet, so $2,000 is a lot of money. I don't know if I need to pay that. I got bills, I got this, I got that. Well, this is why you got to get around the right people. You got to read the right books. You got to start thinking correctly. Here's my thought process. If I don't spend the $2,000, I can miss out on $200,000.
Yeah.
That was my thought process. I'm saying this guy Shevy just told me he's making a couple thousand a month. So I'm gonna let $2,000 cost me a couple grand a month. I booked the ticket.
There we go.
I booked the ticket. I went to the meeting. Phenomenal meeting. Got a chance to meet Max. I was in the mastermind. I got a chance. Now here I am. I'm brand new. I don't know anything about wholesaling. I'm at the elite meeting, and there's all these wholesalers around that's been doing the business, and they're talking foreign to me. I don't know what they're talking about. They're talking about KPIs and ARVs and MTVs and BET. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm lost. I'm like, man, y'all. I'm like, I don't know. I just took the information down. I just wrote down the information, and I said, man, I'm going to be the biggest student. I'm going to write down everything. Still to this day, I look at my We Live notes. Till this day, I look at my We Live notes. So I'm getting information. I'm going over it. I'm meeting different people. And I'm seeing that this world of wholesaling is a whole different world. More than people think. It's a whole nother world. So I went to the We Live event, and do you know what that did? It increased the belief a little more. It increased the faith a little more. Remember, I met Chevy. I got with Chevy. He told me how much he was making. Okay, increased my belief a little bit. I went to We Live. I met all these people. I met a kid at We Live. I think he was 19 years old. He said his first wholesale deal, he made $100,000. I was like, this is nuts. At 19,
100,000 at 19. That's
you
sick.
give me 100,000 at 19, I probably wouldn't be on this live right now. And I'm just meeting these people, and I'm like, remember, I'm meeting people like me. So what people gotta understand is when you get into any business, the best thing that you can do is find somebody who's like you, who grew up like you, who has the the same similarities as you, but it's who's doing something on a totally different level. What that does for your belief, it lets you know that it's possible because they're no different from you. So I'm meeting all these guys at the meeting, and what it does is it increases my belief a little more. Now remember, I ain't made no money. I haven't done a deal. I don't know anything about the business.
You was just like a week. You was a weekend.
I was a weekend. I was 1 weekend. And what that did was from Chevy's story, from Lenore's, the guy, Lenore's is the first guy who told me about it. It's a guy from Savannah, Georgia. That's the guy who told me about it. From Lenore's to Chevy to We Live to Max Maxwell to all the people that I met, what that was is it was fuel. So remember, everybody's like a vehicle. But in order to get to your goals and dreams or to anything when it comes to it, you need some fuel. Well, what is the fuel? The fuel is the faith, the belief. Remember, when you start a business, you ain't making no money. You ain't got nothing. All you got is the faith that it's going to work. That's all. So here I am. I leave We Live. I got this full tank of gas. And what is the gas? It's the faith. I don't want to get all religious and stuff on here, but I said, okay, I got everything that I need to rock and roll. So what kept me going all summer? I wasn't thinking about my business going down drain. I wasn't thinking about the pandemic. I wasn't thinking about how I had to max out all my credit cards. I wasn't thinking about having to call all my landlords and say, hey, I can't pay this month. Hey, I need an extension. I need another extension. I need another extension. I need another extension. I wasn't thinking about any of those things. All I thought about was the stories and the testimonies that I heard of what people were doing. That's what I focused on. That's what I focused on. So how did I get through 9 months of making no money? Was the fuel. Was the fuel.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So you want to tell me about the smack talking that you did back in January? Oh, you don't remember?
Yeah, I remember, man. I'm competitive, man. I'm competitive, bro.
So it took me 8 months. It took you 9 months.
Yeah. So
you laughed. You was like, I'm gonna find a deal before that.
Hey, man. Sometimes optimism backfires.
It happens, man. You know what? One of the things that happen is that in this business, man, people see guys like me doing it. They like, man, it's easy, but people don't understand that there's a lot of commitments that comes with it. It's a lot of work ethic. It's all this mindset overall as far as the work that you put in. So the momentum that's built is built from nothing. So you got to start from nothing and build it up to something, right? So you got to understand when we had a conversation, I was already a year in. So I was already a year of this hard work. And it was just all finally catching up in itself. And that's really what's going on where you're at now, where you just close out a deal. You got another one closing. You just put 2 properties on the contract. There's ton of momentum and ton of great things happening for you right now, man. Not only that, but you added value to the Airbnb part for our business, which is great as well. So just being able to trade off and I tell guys all the time that your network is your net worth, right? So understanding people that you network with, people that you surround yourself with. We've known each other now for 6+ years now. And one of the things that happened is you saw me in this business. You like, man, if Chevy is doing this, I know I could do it because I'm not the sharpest thing I'm not the sharpest guy around. You know what I mean? But I work hard. I'm a hard worker. So it's just one of those things where when it comes to mindset and understanding that it all starts there because it's just a battle of the mind. You're only in your own way. No, nothing is stopping. You're only in your own way. And I was watching Brent Daniels. He's another guy that's on YouTube, and he was talking about, hey, This only work if you work, which is what you've been doing these past several months, man. So let's get to the 21,000 that you close out October 1st. Break that deal down to me, man. Let the people know, how did you find the deal? What was the conversation like? What was the motivation behind it? Break that deal down for me.
Okay, so this is what I did when coming back from We Live. I started going to, okay, what is the daily activity I need to do to get this wholesaling business up and running? And one of the things that I wanted to do was I said, okay, well, I want to cut my learning curve down. In the previous business that we were in, we had coaches and mentors every day that we were able to connect with. So I learned that in my previous, and this is why I give so much to my previous business. Every business that you get in, it's not a loss. It doesn't matter if you was in a business for a year and you failed. You can take something from that business and apply it to the next thing and to the next thing. So I learned that coaches and mentors are very vital.
Very, very important.
So what I did was I got a coach. Okay, I got a coach. I found a guy who's pretty reputable. He taught me some things in wholesaling, and then he let me go. He let me off, and I'm working the business. So during the summer 2020, my forms of marketing was text messaging. Text messaging. Well, why is text messaging? Text messaging is simple. It's cost effective, and everybody's texting. Everybody's texting now, whether you're young, old. People check their text messages. So text messages is what I was using. I was using a service called Batch Leads. So I was using Batch Leads, and I'm working the business. I'm getting leads.
Nothing,
But nothing's closing. Nothing's serious. I go on a few appointments here and there, but nothing really serious. So during the whole summer, I'm working the business. I'm getting leads, but I'm not closing any deals. I'm going on appointments, but I'm not closing any deals. So I'm continuing to text, I'm continuing to text. Now understand this, remember this, that I had this Airbnb business that was my main source of income. That was the business that was funding my wholesaling in the beginning. But remember, this pandemic hit, nobody can travel, so now that income stopped. So now remember, in order to do text messaging, you still got to spend money. So I buy a list and I go through the whole list. So now I got to do a follow-up campaign. So I'm doing continuous follow-up campaigns because my funds are low. Remember, my business is going down, so my funds are low. So, and this is a vital part of this story here on how this deal came apart, and I hope you catch the secret of what I'm gonna say. So my funds are low. I'm not closing any leads. I'm not getting any appointments, and I end up moving from my apartment into one of my properties because I got all these properties around the city, but they're not getting booked like they used to. So what I did was I said, okay, I need to cut down my expenses. So I moved out of the apartment that I was in. I moved into one of my properties to where I'm already paying rent anyway. So I'm cutting my expenses. So I go back to the texting. I'm texting. I'm not getting any any traction. I'm talking to people. When you text, when you do text messages, 95% of the text messages are wrong numbers. So I'm talking to people, but I'm not getting any traction. And this is what turning point here. This was all within the past 5 weeks. What shifted my business around? Okay, when you're in business and when you're going for achievement, you're going to go through a certain few things. You're going to go through this thing called frustration. At this point, I'm frustrated. Why? My bills are here. My income is here. And this is where most people fold. But what I learned in the past was you focus on the opportunities, not the obstacles. So most people, when you're going through hell, most people focus on the hell. No, I said if I keep focusing on how I'm not making money, I'm gonna continue not making money. So what I had to do was I had to think about all the good things and all the positive things that could potentially happen. So I'm at a crossroad. I never forget. I get a call. This was about 6, 7 weeks ago on a Saturday. Saturday, in my opinion, was always a great work day for us in our previous business. That was our busiest day. So I work every Saturday. I've been working every Saturday for the past 8 years. So it was a Saturday. I got a phone call from a friend, and probably one of my most frustrated days in the wholesaling business is because, like I said, it's just not working. I ain't making no money. It's just not working. And I never forget that friend that on the phone gave me a word of encouragement, and they had no idea what my situation was. They had no idea what the situation was. I got off that phone, Chevy, and when I hung up that phone, all frustration disappeared. It was like, okay, Alex, you've built businesses before to where you've done sales upwards of $100,000 a month. In that previous business, I did that. Well, what's the difference now? Why are you frustrated? Why are you going through issues? How about you figure it out and take action? That Saturday, this is what I did. I said, okay, I ain't got money to text. I went through this list 3 or 4 times already. But I got this little thing called Call Tools that I purchased a couple months back.
Months ago, yeah.
But I'm not using it. See this, and I hope you guys are getting this. When you remove frustration, now you open the lanes of the highway for the solution. So my highway was clouded with frustration. It's like a traffic jam. And all the cars is anger, I'm broke, frustration, it ain't working, ain't making no money, and it's impossible for you to get through the road. But then what I did was I eliminated all that and I seen this clear path. I said, I got this thing called Call Tools. Let me just hop on Call Tools.
What's Call Tools?
Call Tools is a cold caller platform. It's like a mojo dialer. But the reason why I like Call Tools better is because it can dial up to 10 numbers at once. And you can get incoming calls. And you can send and receive text messages. So I said, let me reboot Call Tools. Let me, set everything back up. Let me get a couple phone numbers. And let me get on the phone and start dialing. I never forget, I got the Max Maxwell cold calling script. Now the thing was, I was in sales previously before. So one of the advantages I have on my side is I'm not afraid of talking to people. And rejection is funny to me personally. So it wasn't hard to pick up the phone because let's be honest, Chevy, what we did was way harder than what we do now as far as people. If anybody's done door-to-door sales or straight commission sales, I'm telling you, cold calling is a walk in the park.
Walk in the park.
It is a walk in the park based on what we had to go through.
Yeah.
So we almost went through what I call the Marine Corps of sales.
In my office, we used to call it the jungle. So it was like, man,
the
if you
jungle,
make it anywhere.
If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah.
So I get on the phone, I start cold calling. I told myself I'm gonna cold call from 9:30 in the morning to 8:30 at night. Remember, I ain't doing nothing. My business ain't making no money. I'm like, what I'm gonna do? I said, I'm gonna cold call all day long. I'm gonna take this list and I'm gonna cold call all day. And I'm cold calling all night. I'm just talking to people. 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 About a week and a half passed by, I had no results. On a Monday, about a week and a half later at 8:45 p.m. See, most of you are afraid to call somebody that late. But see, I learned something in my previous career. I learned something in my previous career in sales. That is If you catch a person at the right time, it doesn't matter what time you talk to them.
That's tough.
It doesn't matter what time you talk to them.
That's a gem.
I cold called this lady. She was in the bed. I can hear the pajamas. I know she's in pajamas.
Oh.
And I go through my regular script. And she says, yeah, I've been thinking about it. Give me a call tomorrow. I said, okay. I'll give her a call tomorrow. I started talking to her. Mm-hmm. And people understand this. This business is about solving problems, man. Point blank, period. This business is about serving people and solving problems. I called her the next day. I started talking to her. She's telling me about the situation. You know, she's been through bankruptcy. She's about to start cancer treatment. And I'm just listening to this lady spill her guts to me. And
what made her open up to you?
What made her open up to me? This is what she told me on why she decided to go with me to sell me the house. In my city of Nashville, people get called sometimes 5 times a day. Mm-hmm. Like there's tons of people out in this city cold calling, text messaging, sending postcards. Everybody's doing it. So pretty much 99.9% of the people that I talk to, they said, man, I get these calls every day. Well, why did that lady decide to go with me? Well, because I was just myself when I called her. I don't put on this fake voice. I don't try to sound salesy. I just asked a simple question. You know, are you open to selling? Are you in the market of selling? And if they say yes, I say, okay, well, how can I be of service to you? What can I do to help solve your problems? And I just related with the lady. You know, I remember she started talking about the Saints. She's a Saints fan. I'm from Georgia. I'm a Falcons fan. If you know anything about football, Saints and Falcons are rivals.
Yeah.
So we're talking junk back and forth about the Saints and the Falcons. And we're just talking about everything except the house. And we're just building a relationship and rapport. And then this will make her open up to me. She's telling me about all these problems and things that she got going on. And I just called her at the right time. And she said, well, I'm getting ready to move at the beginning of the month. And I need the money from the sale of this house to move into my new place. So I said, okay. Got a chance to meet her. Got her under contract. Sent the property out. And the lady ended up having a mortgage on the house. It's a pretty big mortgage that she owed. And the biggest issue we were having was the mortgage companies was not sending the payoff to the title company. So we're scheduled to close on October 1st. I found a buyer for the property. It was scheduled to close on October 1st, but the mortgage company was not sending the payoff for the mortgage, because anytime you got a mortgage, the mortgage company has to send the payoff to the title company, so the title company can have the payoff form, so they know exactly what to send to the mortgage company to pay it off. They can't just call and get the payoff. They have to send it to the title company. And it's September 29th or 30th, whatever the last day in September is. They still have not sent the payoff. Now the lady is ready to back out. It's because, remember, she has to move. October 1st was on the Thursday. She has to move by Friday.
Right.
So now she's trying to back out. Me and the lawyer at the title company, me and him are calling and texting. We freaking out. We like, oh my gosh, man, this title. I was on the phone with the mortgage company for a week straight, and I could not get anybody to send the payoff form. And I'm thinking this thing is gonna fall through. Here I am. I'm talking to the seller, and I'm like, it's okay. Don't. She's crying on the phone. I'm like, don't back out. It's okay. We're gonna get it done. And man, it was getting towards the nighttime, towards the evening, and I started thinking to myself. I said, I'm gonna have to go to this lady's house and tell her that we're just gonna have to extend it, and maybe she can move later. And I'm just thinking about all these things I got to do. I get a phone call from the lawyer from the title company. He said, Alex, you're not gonna believe this. I said, what? He said, the mortgage company just sent over the payoff. I said, you gotta be kidding me, man. It was the end of the day on the last day. I called the buyer back. I said, hey, and this is another thing. The buyer for the house was going out of town that Wednesday. So he wasn't going to be able to sign the forms until Monday.
Damn.
So I'm like, oh. So it had to get done that day, or it wasn't going to happen. The lawyer called me and said, Alex, the payoff just came through. I said, stop playing with me, man. He said, I'm so serious. I called the buyer. I said, hey, look, run over to the bank now. Okay, no, not run to the bank. Run over to the title company now. Sign the papers. Right now, today. Today, sign the papers. He ran over. He got the paper signed. That morning, we went and met the seller at the house. We paid the payoff. Oh, by the way, the lawyer told me, Alex, the payoff is an extra $25,000 higher than what you said, than what we thought it was. It was extra $25,000 higher. And the seller needed to walk away with 20 grand. So I had to renegotiate the deal just so we can pay the house off, pay the seller off, and still have enough in there for me. And it still be a good deal for the buyer. That next morning, we went and met the seller at the house, me and the lawyer, got the paper signed. And that day, man, I got a wire for 21 grand.
My man, hell of a story. So a deal came from cold calling, building the right rapport, building trust with the seller as well, and making sure that they was dialed in and keep them engaged. You had to build relationship with the buyer also, man. So yeah, good stuff, man. He's disconnected. But guys, yeah. That was a great story. Hopefully he jumped back on. He's back on. Okay. All right. You disappear real quick, man. You disappear real quick.
My bad.
That was a great story, man. Great story. Yeah, man. I'm really excited for your growth, man. I've watched you go through a lot in this business. I've watched you go through a lot in the previous business too. so it's fun to see you grinding, fun to see you in the trenches. We're building together, adding value to each other as well, and the seeing your growth and seeing your successes, man. What the future holds for you, man. I know you're still cold calling every day. We were just talking. I was like, man, the biggest thing that we're gonna have to do is to scale this thing as far as implementing some teams in place. So you could free up some time to just do the negotiations, Brian. So what is the future looking like for your business?
My goals for 2021 is to keep doing what I'm doing. My goal is to be able to make as much money as possible and get to a certain amount of income wholesaling by myself. And the reason why I want to do that is because I want to learn every facet of the business before I bring people in. And what I want to do is I want to give myself a safety net, meaning that when I start hiring VAs or building an office or team, whatever, I want to make sure that I've secured myself enough to where I can afford mistakes. See, the thing of business is the reason why most businesses fail is people are going to make mistakes in business, point blank, period, especially when you're starting out. The key is those mistakes cost you the business because you're not making enough money. So for me, it's to have my reserve of cash set away to where even if I failed, it wouldn't matter because I have such high reserves of cash that I can recover quickly. See, the key in business is to not to go back.
Right.
I'd rather you move 1 centimeter per day forward than go back.
Makes
So
sense.
the goal is I'm not going back.
He got lost again. He got to fix his internet, man. Man, this guy be giving us some gems. I hope y'all listening. I hope y'all listen. Dude, you keep on dropping, man. You got to fix your internet. Can't hear you. You got your thing on mute.
The reason why this keeps dropping is because they may not be worthy of this information. The universe is cutting off the internet because if you're watching this right now, whether you're watching it today or a year from now or 5 years from now, I hope you caught the secret in my story.
Right on. Now
The
that's
secret,
good stuff.
the secret wasn't me cold calling.
Nope.
The secret wasn't me building rapport. The secret wasn't me going to We Live. The secret wasn't me talking to Chevy every day. The secret was the belief, the fuel, the belief built up in my brain that I can do this, period. It doesn't matter if I make money today, next month, next week, 5 months from now, 6 months from now, 10 months from now. I woke up every day with the same enthusiasm that I did when I first talked to Chevy. Every day.
Desire.
I woke up every day as if today is the day that I get my first deal. I didn't get a deal. Today is the day that I get my first deal. I didn't get a deal. The next week, this week is the week that I get a deal. I didn't get a deal. The next month, this month is the month that I get a deal. I didn't get a deal for 9 months.
And then you'll call me. I'm like, oh, they said yes. Remember those calls?
You said what now?
Remember those calls when you called me, I'm like, oh yeah, you got a deal now, right? And it didn't happen. Like, I hate you.
I would call Chevy and be like, you got a deal? I'm like, no. You got a deal? Not yet. You got a deal? Not today. You got a deal? No, sir. It didn't happen.
Desire,
man. Desire. People got to understand is that you got to believe in the things even though you can't see it. That's how everything on this planet starts.
Blind faith.
From a child, you start off as a seed, from a tree, from birds. Everything start off in the spiritual, and then it goes to the physical. It's the same thing with your goals. I learned that in that previous business. That's how I kept going.
Now that's good stuff, man. So you knocked out the deal October 1st, man. I know that we was just having a conversation a few days ago. He was like, and I was like, Alex, I haven't heard from you in a while, man. Like you took what you needed from me and you don't call me no more.
Of course.
So
smart people steal.
So how many deals you have in the pipeline right now, man?
Right now I have, let's see, I just did the first one, so I got 1, 2. I got 3 deals on a contract. I got an appointment today. That'll probably make it the 4th one.
The closing techniques are sick, ain't it? Cold.
Man, the thing about, you said what, cold call?
No, I said the closing techniques that you stole.
I didn't really steal a technique. It was funny. Chevy he got on the 3-way call with one of my sellers, right? And when I was making my offers, I think I was being too robotic-y or, just not being myself and normal. And I heard Chevy get on the phone with this guy and he was just talking to him. The guy wanted 90. He's like, well, that's a little steep for what we're looking to do. I mean, is there some way we can meet in the middle? And the guy was like, well, yeah, I'm open to it. And he was like, well, he offered, I think, 70. He's like, that's still too low. Well, why would we meet in the middle? 78. Is that something you do? Yeah, I can do that. He said, great, because the tenant's not paying rent anyway. And I was like, it was almost having a conversation with your friend. You just talking. It's not trying to negotiate a hostage out of a hostage situation. It was just talking like regular people. And I was like, okay, got it. And then ever since then, man, I just been getting contracts.
That's good, man. That's good. It's only going to get better, man. I'm loving the growth. I'm loving this the fact that I'm a part of the journey. Helping and assisting with what you got going there in Nashville. It's crazy how real estate or just being an entrepreneur altogether, man. If you just get out of your comfort zone and just get around people that knows what they're doing, and you're able to network with them and just get uncomfortable. Because I'm sure, one of the things that happened is being from the previous business that we was in and coming to the business that we're at now and just, seeing all the different things that's going on. And then you call me, you like, you doing what? You making what? What the, how do I do that? That type of situation, right? It was just getting out of the comfort zone. And I'm really, really just saying, you know what? Let me call this guy and see what's really going on. We see a lot of different things on Facebook and you know, you'll be amazed as far as you being someone that I've only known for six years, but there's people that I've known my whole life that wouldn't even pick up the phone or reach out and say, hey man, look, you know, what are you doing and how can I get into what you're doing? Because it looks like you're doing some amazing things. Crazy. But that's neither here or there. People that I know missing out. People that I don't know, they're doing their thing. But that's neither here or there, man. Look, Alex, how can people reach you, man, if they want to get in touch with you? What's that? What's your handles on IG, Facebook, all that stuff, man? What's up?
Yeah, you can reach me on Facebook at Alex M. Inman. I think that's my Facebook. Um, I think so. Alex M. Inman. That's Alex M. then Inman. You can reach me on Instagram at Alex Alex M. The letter M, and then Inman INMAN. Those are the only two platforms I'm on. So if you want to reach me, you can reach out to me on those platforms.
Perfect, man. Well, there you have it, guys. Another episode of Get Real, which stands for Real Estate as a Lifestyle. Did a great interview with my guy Alex Edmond out of Nashville, Tennessee. We've known each other for quite some time, but this is one of those situations where he got such a humble soul in being able to reach out and get out of his comfort zone. And what that did was it took him from where 9 months of no results, but still having the belief system, still having the desire to succeed, to where he was able to cash in on a $21,000 deal wired to his bank account in one day. So you have zero money in a bank account to a $21,000 in one day. That's amazing, man. Not a lot of people are making 21,000 in one day, man. So I'm really excited. We got a couple different deals closing out as well, and we're gonna keep this money train going, man. But more importantly, man, it's all about the growth. It's all about just helping one person to get to the next level, and that's what I do every day. So I'm really excited, Alex. Thank you so much for coming on the channel, brother. I appreciate that, and you crushed this, man. And yeah. Sure. We gonna chop it up, and I know you gotta get ready for cold calling and going on the appointments and everything, man. So good luck with the appointments.
I appreciate it.
I'm sure you're gonna crush it as well. And do you want one of these shirts?
Absolutely, man. As long as it's free.
As long as it's free.
Yeah.
For you, Alex, I got you, brother. I got you. Just shoot me the address to send it to, and I got you. All right,
man. So, my last words to everybody is if you're a wholesaler right now, you're not getting results. Let me tell you a secret. It's working. You think it's not working. It's working. What you don't understand is you're learning what not to do. If you're wholesaling today and you're not getting results, all that's telling you is you need to switch your plan. Remember what I said is I did texting all those months. And because when I cleared my mind out and I said, let me cold call. See, calling is free.
True.
Calling is free. And because of that, because I got rid of the clutter, I got rid of the frustration, and I got a new plan, that's when I started to get results. The last thing I will say is a lot of you program yourself to think negative opposed to think positive. And I'm an evangelist for this book right here, but I'm gonna tell you, go pick this up here. I've been reading this for 5 years. 5 years I've been reading this book. So how does a person work a business almost for a year and wake up excited every single day? Is because I got the right mindset. You think you got to learn how to wholesale to do wholesaling.
Nope.
It's far from the truth.
Far from it, man. You gotta have the right mindset.
You ain't gotta know how to do wholesaling.
You gotta have the right mindset. 100%.
It doesn't matter what the business is.
Mindset.
It can be wholesaling. It can be a farmer. It can be taxes. It can be any business. The how to do it is a very small percentage. How you think about what you're doing is where the big money's at. Yep. So now I'm wholesaling. I was working so hard and getting so little for months. Now I'm working way less harder. And the deal that me and Chevy partnered on is a $26,000 deal.
Hey man, you told me 10, man. What the hell?
You said what?
I'm just kidding with you. I'm just kidding.
I just got another one under contract. That's 20.
Sick.
I got another one under contract for next month. That's gonna be about 15.
That's sick, man. So from 9 months, you're gonna at least make 100K in the next 30 to 45 days, man. That is amazing, man. Awesome,
believe,
bro.
People. Believe.
Awesome.
Believe in you is this. I'm telling Chevy, they don't get it. It's you. It's not wholesaling. It's you. It is you. Once you go look in the mirror, you're gonna be like, I'm the best. I'm the best wholesaler. I'm gonna crush this. I'm gonna make as much money as my heart desire. I'm gonna crush this business. I'm gonna go work the business today. Everybody and their mama can tell me no. Cool. I'm gonna wake up the next day and do the same thing over. I don't get a deal this week. Great. I'm gonna get one the next week. I don't get one that week. Great. I'm gonna get one the next week. And you keep going and you keep doing it over and over and over and over. And what's gonna happen is the laws are gonna start to kick in. What are the laws? The law of averages, the law of sowing and reaping, the law of persistence. All these things kick in, and it will be as if the heavens opened up to you, and it was as if that all that hard work that you did paid off for you.
100%. Oh, he got disconnected again. This man was dropping so many gems, man. So many gems. Yeah. Hello? Yeah. 6,500 on the contract. Let's go. Let's get it. All right, we good then. All right.
Y'all hear this guy?
All right.
$6,500 on a contract. Don't be,
all right, man.
Don't be flexing, man.
Drop it off at the office, and then
Don't
you
be
can go
flexing. Don't be flexing, bro. I hope I get some of that. But
right.
Everybody, if you want to reach me, Facebook, Instagram. But honestly, you got everything you need in you to win, people.
Let's go.
Everything in you.
Let's
Just,
go.
just
Let's
go to
go.
work. Just do something.
It only
Even
works
if
if you work.
even if
That's
it's
it.
the wrong thing,
Do
do
it.
something.
Do
Just do something. Brandon signs, text, cold call, do something. That's it. Allison here, I'm out. I hope everybody crushes it for the rest of the 2020. Remember, 2020, the rest of 2020 is what you want it to be. It ain't based on this election. It ain't based on the pandemic. It ain't based on none of that stuff. I tell people all the time, if you were broke when Obama was in office, then you're gonna be broke when the next person is in office. It doesn't matter who's in office. None of that stuff matters. What matters is what you do.
Let's go. Let's go. Preach.
What you do.
Let's go, Alex.
I'm out, man. I gotta go. Hey, I appreciate you having me on. Y'all rock and roll, man.
All right, Alex. I'm gonna holler at you, man. Well, there you have it, guys. Another episode, like I said, man. My guys out of Nashville, Tennessee. Finally seeing some traction, finally crushing it for sure. This month of networking, but more important, like you said, just having the right mindset, having that belief system that he's gonna go out here and crush it, and it's really just catching up to what he's been believing. And it's good to see his growth. It's good to see him putting it all together, man. And that's it for me as well. I got to go get some things done also. Um, Stay tuned, man. Make sure you guys continue to leave comments. Make sure you guys continue to follow. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share this with somebody, because I'm sure if you don't take value in it, somebody else could use it. So make sure you're sharing it with somebody else for sure. Thanks for the support, guys. I will holler at you. It's the boy, the real Chevy, and I'm out. Peace.